Hello and welcome to another scale video. Hopefully you've watched the first scale video before you've looked at this video. If you haven't, go and have a look at it now. In this video, I'm going to model creating a scale plan using a City and Guilds exam question. So here is a scale question where rather than you actually having to calculate a distance using the scale and sort of doing how we've done the other couple of questions, it's now that you've got to create the plan and use scale. So, scenario is a gardener wants to put the greenhouse in the top right hand corner of her garden. I'm going to underline top right hand corner because that's important information. This is a sketch plan of her garden, okay, and we've got what size the greenhouse is, that's fine. She wants to leave a 50 centimetre space between the greenhouse and the edge of the garden. So that again, important information, and that's something I need to remember. She wants a scale plan of the garden showing the position of the greenhouse. Draw a scale plan, put the scale you use on the plan. To answer this question, you will need graph paper. If you print out this samples off City and Guilds website, they do have these included if you don't have any at home. But this is sort of the type of paper you would need to do this kind of activity. So the first thing I need to do is decide what scale am I actually going to use. So to do that, I'm actually going to look at the garden because that's the bigger item that we've got to look at. So we can see the garden is 5.5 metres, 5.5 metres. So that's our longest dimensions. This paper is usually at a scale of a centimetre. These small squares are usually a centimetre. I've enlarged it a little bit so it probably doesn't look quite like that on your screen, but on my screen this is equivalent to a centimetre. So I can see that in between that centimetre there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little boxes. So if I wanted to make this easy on myself, what I could do is say, because there's a 0.5 going on, that 2 squares will make 1 metre. If I can get away with it, that's what I'll do. So let's check. So there's 5.5, so I'd need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a half. Great, so that works. Will it work down as well? 1 metre, 2 metres, 3 metres, 4 metres, 5 metres, and then that 0.5 that makes the half. Brilliant, that will fit there. Okay, so let me draw that on now. Okay, now I'm going to do the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've got the 2.5 there. 1, 2, 5. Now some people wobble at this bit because you haven't got dimensions there, but you can work them out. You can see where it ends. This is 2.5, that's 5.5. Take the 2.5 away from 5.5 and we'd have 3. So that should go across 3, 1, 2, 3, and that works, looks, it lines up. And then that's where I would join there, but I am going to check I've got it right. 5.5, take away 4 is 1.5, so that's what I should have there, and there you go. 1 metre and then a 0.5 to add on. So I'm happy with that, that's worked. Okay. So now what I need to do is put the scale on, because that's an important part here that we need to understand, because that's what they're looking for. Do you know how to do it? So based on that, I know I did 2 squares is 1 metre, and I told you that one of these squares is a centimetre in measurements. So in terms of the scale I've worked at, I have done 1 centimetre is worth how many centimetres? Well, if 2 squares are a metre, and that would be 2 centimetres, 1 square is therefore half of that, and that's 50 centimetres. It's half a metre, isn't it, for that square? So I'm working at a ratio of 1 to 50. For every 1 centimetre on my plan, it is worth 50 centimetres in real life. Okay, so if I wanted to just hammer that home, I would say here that this measures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 centimetres. And that makes sense, isn't it? Because 8 times 50 would be 400, aka 4 metres. This one here would be how many centimetres long? Can you tell me? Well, you know, because you can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 centimetres. This one will be the same because they're the same dimension. This one here, 2.5. If you're not sure, you can always use it to help you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 centimetres. as we know, 5 times 50, 250, 2.5. This one here, 3 squares, 3 centimetres. And this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 centimetres. So we've got that sorted. So now what we've got to do is put the greenhouse on here. Now, working on my scale, I know it's 1 centimetre to 50, but in my head I'd gone, okay, I know a block of 2 is a metre, so I'm going to stick with that and then I'll put the dimensions on. I'm going to put the greenhouse on. They haven't told us which orientation. All they've told us is it must be at least 50 centimetres space between the greenhouse and the edge of the garden. I know 1 square is going to be 50 centimetres, so as long as I stick to that, I'll be fine. I'm going to put my 2 metre edge this way, I think. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then the 2.5, 1, 2.5, 1, 2, and then again 1, 2.5. So that's my greenhouse, and I'm going to write the dimensions on just to show that I really do understand. I'm also going to write GH just to make it really obvious. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 centimetres, and that makes sense because 4 times 50 is 200. 200 centimetres is 2 metres. This one here, 2.5, well, we already had to do this because of this one here. This one is a 5 centimetre length side. That is now the question complete. But as you could see, really important you had that grasp of scale to answer it. You had to understand that, and also you had to make sure you wrote that scale there. A lot of people make the mistake of writing 1 to 100, and that's not right because we're talking in centimetres, aren't we? Okay, how did you find that? If you've got any questions at all, please do talk to your tutor, and remember all the resources are available for you to practice scale. Until next time.